Ricky here with Breaking Your Barriers on our segment of leadership. Now, today I've got a very amazing guest. I'm not going to call her a special guest, I'm going to call her an amazing guest. Since the first day this young lady and I became friends, I've always appreciated her because of her very warm, kind demeanor. She's always been one of the most benevolent people I've met from day one until this very day that I'm interviewing her regarding leadership. Now, talking about leadership, kindness goes a very long way. It's not about being a dictator, it's about being empathetic towards the people that you look to lead. And this young lady is the most perfect person with regards to that message. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to all of you somebody I'm very honored to call my friend, Zaida Richard. Zaida,
Thank
how
you,
are you?
Ricky.
You're welcome.
I'm fine. Thank you so much for the kind words. Wow, I feel humbled and grateful, of course. I'm blessed to be here.
No, believe me, it's the honor's all mine, Zaida. I was so happy when you said, "Yes, I will be there." I'm sure our listeners want to find out because everybody has their own different take on what leadership is. So the first question I'd love to ask you, Zaida, with regards to leadership is, what is leadership to you?
Hmm. Leadership. It's a lot. There's a lot of meaning to me personally. Well, leadership means inspiring others
Hmm.
to work together towards a common goal, to encourage them, to support them, to bring out their utmost potential and help them be the best version of themselves. We do that in Toastmasters. And what better place to see this well demonstrated, right? It's with this background right there. Toastmasters, they welcome you as you are. We do this in our club. We always say, come as you are, bring your uniqueness, and then they will help, support, encourage, inspire, and develop you into not only as a communicator, but also as a leader. Toastmasters has a tagline that says, where leaders are made. And you can see it behind me right there, where leaders are made. And that's so true. Here in Toastmasters, leaders are creating more leaders. And I have benefited from that and so many people as well. There's a saying, if your actions inspires others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and become more, you are a leader. That was a quote from John Quincy Adams. I really love that quote.
Wow.
That's what a true leadership means. That's what it means to me. But I think before you become a true leader, you have to lead yourself first. You cannot lead others if you cannot lead yourself. So how do we do that? Know your values. Be an authentic leader with an authentic values and ethics. Something like, when someone says, action speaks louder than words. Words means nothing when there's no action. So when you say something or promise to do something and there's no follow-up, you lose your integrity. People lose their trust. Having purpose, we talk about it in Toastmasters a lot. Having a vision, having a mission, right? Ricky, we do that.
That's right.
It's like a roadmap to guide us, especially during dark times, because there will be dark times. It's like a roller coaster, ups and down. You have success, you have failures. It's just part of life. Then we have to keep improving ourselves, read more, learn more, ask questions, and don't be embarrassed. To ask questions. Don't make the same mistake twice.
Most of the greatest leaders in the world ask great questions. They don't assume. They want to know the answer. And how do I do this to the best of my ability? I love that you shared that. Now, if I was going to ask you, Zaida, And this is something I personally would love to hear. 5 values from your own personal experience, 5 values that you believe are the most important when it comes to being a leader. What would they be for you?
Humility is one of them.
Uh,
Very important to become as a servant leader. That's very important. A true leader, you have to put others first, which means to be a servant leader. Servant leaders put their people first and want to serve and support them. So humility, and then value, ethics, purpose, your mission, your vision. I think I'm going over 5.
oh no,
So those are like a roadmap to follow, because then you have something to focus on and work on. And even if you fail in one, it's gonna help you to stand back up and continue, because you do have that purpose.
yes.
And so don't be like, you know what, like if you make mistake, it's okay.
Mhm.
You ask, it's okay. If you fail, it's okay. I'll give you an example. Like Thomas Edison, all right? Thomas Edison, he failed so many times, right? Do you know how many times he failed, Ricky?
So many.
Times, that much. He failed over 10,000 attempts before he finally got a first light bulb working in 1879. Now we are still enjoying it now. Look, we have light, we have electricity in our computers, you know, we're enjoying it. And then there was one reporter that asked him a question. How did it fail? How did it feel to fail 10,000 times? You know, how he replied to that question? He said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 10,000 steps. That was the answer, which means if we fail, it's a step towards success, right?
That is fantastic, because what you shared, you shared something very important. A leader has to look at a situation with a positive perception, because most of us in our
Yes.
life, if we failed even 1,000 times only, most of us would have quit.
Oh, yeah. He has a determination. Oh, my gosh. Persistence. That is a true leader. Oh, and then also forgot to add that to your other question. You lead by example. Lead by example, which is the most challenging. You know, I think it's more difficult leading from the front, because you're in the front line. You're going to be the first one to get shot, right? And being in the front line is not only being brave, but it's a very leader thing to do. Maybe that's why it is the hardest thing of them all. And the only thing can make you a leader is when you start acting like one. If your boss is not around, hey, step up and take the lead. That's being a leader to me, right? Take the lead. Just do it. So that's the most important. One of the most important of being a leader is leading by example.
And you have led by example.
Yes, people that follows you, look up to you. You really have to have a good ethics. You have to get good values, your mission, your vision. You have to be in alignment, so they will see that, and then they will trust and follow you. And you know, I'm still working on that, of course. Personally, I'm not there yet, but that's why I'm in Toastmasters, because it's a perfect place to practice leadership skills. You know, we have this opportunity. It's a platform that we can learn, grow, practice, hone this kind of skills. It's a soft skill that we don't learn this in school. I haven't learned this in school. I work in a medical, you know, I was a clinical laboratory scientist, a retired one. We don't learn that. We're hiding behind the lectern, behind a curtain. We don't even see faces of patients. So we don't know how to communicate. We communicate with coworkers. We communicate with doctors on the phones. We don't even see their faces. That's why Toastmaster is really a great place to practice.
Toastmasters is definitely a wonderful platform to learn leadership as well as practice leadership, because you get to take on so many roles and you become accustomed to leading a group. However, before you joined Toastmasters, when was your first experience with leadership?
My first experience as a leader, oh my gosh, I would say that was like way, way back. We started, I was young, maybe during my Girl Scout days, you know. Yeah, they teach you leadership there, right? You're leading your group, your team, your activities, you lead on those. And then I joined, became an adult. Then you started also learning leadership at work because, it's part of it. And then when I joined Toastmasters, that's when I really got immersed into real leadership learning, growing, because the program is just so vast. It's just an incredible program. And I don't want to keep this as a secret. I really want the world to know that Toastmasters is really a real thing. It's a real deal.
Yes.
If you want to learn communication, you want to learn leadership skills, soft skills, this is it. This is the place for you. You see the tagline, where leaders are made? That's true. They really create leaders. Leaders are creating leaders in Toastmasters. So I'm promoting Toastmasters. I don't want to keep it a secret because it really helped me a lot. It helped Nathan a lot. Nathan had a speech impairment. It helped him a lot. Without Toastmasters, I don't know how he will be able to overcome that. And I have friends that I shared it with. Now they're part of Toastmasters. And I thank one of my friends that invited me to join Toastmasters way back in church at Crystal Cathedral, Tina. And she was inviting me. And I always say, well, I think I'm not available that day. Excuses after excuses. She speaks with accent, just Chinese distant, right? And then a few months later, I was like, whoa, Tina, our great speaker now. I mean, she was like unbelievable, the change in her. I said, I really have to check this place out. So I went with her in her next meeting, and I was amazed to see this lady standing in front of the audience speaking. And I said, I want to be like her. The confidence, my gosh, this is really a great place to learn. So I signed up. And that became a story. That was in Crystal Cathedral at the Tower of Hope. I don't know if you're familiar with Crystal Cathedral. That was the Tower of Hope. I remember that. And then Norm and Fran were my mentors. I was so lucky and so blessed because they were the one that really guided me and others. They are true leaders. I call them servant leaders because they really serve and put people first and lift them up. You agree with me, right, Ricky?
I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, something you just said a moment ago is so important. Anybody can say, hey, you go here, you become a leader. You go here, you become a leader. However, your friend Tina, she invited you, but you saw her and you saw her development, you saw her change, you saw the most important thing, which is transformation. And as leaders, we need to communicate effectively. And most importantly, we need to transform our minds. We need to realize that we are enough and the wisdom is within us. All we need to do is make that choice. And you did. Here you are years later, leading so many people to become the better representation of themselves now.
And the fun thing too is while you're learning, you meet people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So like in our club, my home club, we're diversified members. We have people zooming from Canada, from India, from Philippines. And then you get to hear the different perspectives when they give speeches, you hear different styles and different perspective in life. So it's amazing. And then you start having friends because they become like your family.
Right.
Yes.
That is definitely one thing. The camaraderie of leaders and people who with a singular goal of betterment, and they uplift one another. So one person isn't in there trying to say, I speak better than you, or I'm a better leader than you. Nope. We are there
No.
to actually uplift one another. If you're a little bit weaker in one section, we'll help
Mhm.
you improve that section. If we know you're strong here, we will help you continue to strengthen and solidify that portion of who you are, because that's your strength.
The only way that we can uplift each other is to be kind.
Yes.
To be kind. Very, very important.
The reason
Doesn't cost you a thing. Be kind, give a smile, right? Those two things, smile and kindness, they're free. Give them away.
and we have the power to choose that every single day. We have the power
Right.
to choose it.
Yes.
We also have the power to choose whether we want to ruin our own day.
Yeah, agree. My mom used to say that to me when I was little, because when you're little, you're like grumpy and so on. And she always tells me, okay, today you have two choices. Either you want to be happy or you want to be miserable. Which one? And then when you're little, I want to be miserable. You just say that, I want to be miserable. I used to do that. I would sit down on the stairs in our house and I would talk. I'll answer her that way. And then as I get older, I realize the value of that wisdom of my mom. You do have a choice.
Yep.
You can be happy if you want to. You can be happy when it's raining. You can be happy when it's sunny, because you can have joy wherever you are. Joy. It's joy. Rejoice, always rejoice. It's in the Bible. Rejoice. There is a reason why they tell you that. Rejoice whether you are in hardship. Rejoice either when you are in a group of friends. Rejoice even when you're in a burial or yes, and then or you're in a wedding. It's a choice. It's in you. Always be joyful. Always stay joyful. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Wherever you go, there will be people that will be grumpy, people that are negative, and they will try to steal your joy. Don't allow it. You have that power, the power to keep that joy in you.
I told you, viewers, if you wanted to be uplifted today, this is the day. You listen to my friend. You listen to my friend Zaida. She's one of the most positive
Thank you.
people I know. And
I'm trying.
oh no, believe me, Zaida, it exudes from you. You're like I told you from day one. The one thing I love about you so much is you're one of the kindest people, one of the most generous people that I know. But more importantly than that, you are a leader because you carry the torch of consistency and discipline, and probably the biggest thing in your arsenal, which is absolute kindness. You got that magnetic smile.
Wow. Oh my gosh, thank you, Ricky. I'm not even aware of that. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, you're being yourself, and you're amazing.
Thank you. Oh, that is so kind of you. And you know that you are the same. You are the same too. Look at what you're doing. You are encouraging and inspiring us. Look at you have this platform, have a YouTube that gives everybody the opportunity to grow and be inspired. You are really a great true leader. You are.
Thank you, Zaida. Is there a message that you would like to share with our listeners who are aspiring to take on leadership roles, who are aspiring to expand their reach of leadership?
If you want to be a true leader, okay, I would say humility is the key. I think I see you being a true leader. To be a true leader is to put others first. Be a servant leader. Servant leaders put their people first, and they want to serve. They want to serve them. And this is personal. This is what I really believe. What a true leader should be. It's not just. It's not just a management technique or a style. It's a way of life for a leader with a servant's heart.
Yes.
But then you know what's the biggest obstacle for someone to become a servant leader? It's ego, human ego. Yes, servant leaders, they have no problem giving credit, listening or building others up. They have their people's back and they give them support when it is needed. They don't see praising others as a threat to themselves. I will tell you, okay, let me share something with you. This one is from a philosopher, a Chinese philosopher. His name is Lao Tzu. Okay, this is how describe it. This is how describe a servant leader. Okay, a leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, his people will say, "Yay, we did it ourselves." He's not getting the credit. He wants the others to get that credit. And then here's another favorite phrase that I'd like to share. People with humility don't think less of themselves. They just think of themselves less. They don't think of them. They don't think less of themselves. They just think of themselves less. It's not all about you. Oh, and this one, I love to share this with my mom, okay? I call my mom my COO because she's also a leader. My dad is the CEO of our house. My mom is the COO. She is called the Chief Operating Officer of, right? The name of the business is home. Okay, this is from my mom. There's a pearl of goodness in every person, but sometimes you have to dig until you find it. A pearl in everyone. So when your ego gets off track, and it will, because we're just human beings, right? You can be a servant leader who puts others first. It's simply a better way to lead. So I would say, everyone, let's celebrate each other. Let's help each other. Let's unlock our leadership potential and share that opportunity with others. Don't keep it as a secret. Toastmasters is a great platform. Come and join Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Zaida, for being part of this channel today, especially our segment on leadership. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate you, Ricky. I hope I brought some value to your platform.
Oh my gosh, more than you know. And I love your take on leadership. I really, like I said, Zaida, gold nuggets. And for those of you watching today, I told you. Once again, this is Ricky with Breaking Your Barriers on our segment of leadership.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. And once again, we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks again, Zaida. You're amazing.